BXNGUS, a 28-year-old music artist from Sydney's underground scene, is doing the most as a solo artist and with his rap group Trauma Squad to make it big. BXNGUS in 2023 released an album worth of crazy new singles such as Back on My Swag, Strange, Villain, Noise and Drip, and BXNGUS is now gearing up and going all out in 2024 with a fresh dedication to his craft and making it big. Ladies and gentlemen, from hashtag Bongies World, my friend BXNGUS.
Oh man, that's gangster. That intro, I did not expect something like that, bro. That's kind of gangster, man. I applaud you on that.
Thank you. I tried. I've had it like pre-written for like since you were like, oh yeah, no, I'd be down. I was like, alright, sick. I got all excited, started writing some things down, doing some research, going on your Instagram and your link tree. I was like, let's go.
Fucking oath, man. I love a man who does his research, bro. That's gangster.
But how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I just dropped my girlfriend off to work, and I'm here to just chill for the rest of the night. And you know, on a night like when I wasn't doing a podcast, I'd usually maybe resign to playing some games or making some music. But I'm here and very keen to be here on the chat.
Let's go. Well, as you know, and as all the viewers know already, this is episode 1, so we're doing it off the cusp. It's going to be a little bit iffy, a little bit wishy-washy, but we are going to give it a go. And then, you know, don't judge us on our first episode. Judge us on our 101st episode where we'll re-invite.
That's gangster, bro.
We'll re-invite BXNGUS in for the check.
I'll be back.
So, and in real life, most likely. So.
Oh, that'd be gangster, bro. In the actual studio, bro. We won't be resigned to live. Yeah, fucking oath, man. Go. But a bong rip together will hit so much harder. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I reckon. You can almost feel it in the air when like two people like rip those cones and they're just like, oh, feels good, man. Feels good. You feel the vibes. Alright, so that's how it's going. How's Sydney? How's it going down there? How's the weather?
The weather has been just as unpredictable as usual, bro. Some days we'll wake up and it'll be 40 degrees, and the next you'll wake up and it'll be 21, raining, and you know, so it's just keeping me on my toes, bro. But I'm very keen for winter. Winter's my season of choice because of the fits. You know, you can rug up and fucking get the nice big puffer jackets happening and leather jackets and all that shit, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'll still be wearing that shit in summer, but at what cost? You know what I mean?
Some smelly armpits, but don't get that close. Keep back.
Don't get that close.
Keep back. It's good. Now, I know your name is BXNGUS, but that's not your government name, is it?
No, that's not my government name. I'm not gonna fully dox myself, but I was assigned the name Johnny at birth. Actually, John, but my parents have called me Johnny.
Really, you're a John?
I'm actually a John. Like on my birth certificate, it's John. But for my whole life, my parents have called me Johnny. And then when I went to school, everyone called me Johnny. And I specifically remember one teacher asking me and telling me, like, when do you think you're going to change yourself and call yourself John? Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead because I was in year 3.
Yeah.
But the first thing that came to my mind was like Johnny Cash, Johnny Depp. There's plenty of famous Johnnies who are old. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You were like, why would I stick to John? Fuck that.
Nah, for real. That's my identity. I don't really meet other Johnnies. You know what I mean?
No, for real. No, you're not wrong. I actually only knew like one Johnny growing up. It was in like grade 6-ish era, and he was a G. So like maybe it's someone in the name, but like
there you go.
Johnny slaps. I have no idea if it was a John or a Johnny, but yes.
But yes, so Johnny is my name, and my stage name is BXNGUS. Yeah. And when we first met each other, obviously my stage name was not BXNGUS; it was Johnny from the Burbs.
So I was just about to ask if there was other rap names that you'd had on the way to BXNGUS. If you want to tell us about some stories about the name and stuff.
Absolutely. So I actually started rapping around 2017, and I won't lie to you, the way that I took it was maybe a little bit facetiously. Like, I was a little bit insecure in my delivery and like how I was going to come across. You could even call it like imposter syndrome to a certain degree, because I felt like I didn't belong, right? I was coming from a background of, I used to play in a metal band, so I was a metal singer. I'm this white dude coming out in a genre that is like, you know, predominantly not you know, the culture. I'm a guest in the culture. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I make sure to remember that, especially at that point when it was like I was listening to artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and these conscious sort of hip hop people who, in my opinion, like I was trying to be on their level when in my opinion, it was just not my place.
Yeah.
So that was the ultimate, like, finding myself that led me to becoming Bongus.
Yeah.
But like I said, getting ahead of myself, in 2017, I started rapping, and it was a little bit facetious. Like I said, I took it like a bit of a joke, which perhaps I shouldn't have, because at the start, it was just insecurity. I would put out videos and they would be tinged with humor and tongue-in-cheek jokes and all that sort of stuff to deflect from the fact that I was unsure of how people would, like, receive the art.
Yeah.
When I found people to be more reciprocating of it than I actually thought that they would be, I started leaning into the more musical side. But for me, there was always just this tinge hanging around that was like, this started as a joke. This isn't like my space. You know what I mean?
You're talking about being a rapper, or like how you your first style when you entered the scene?
My first style when I entered the scene, which was very much focused on like conscious hip hop and being in that space where predominantly like I am a guest in the space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, when you say that you're a guest in the space, I'd just like to dive in on that a little bit more. So in my mind, just give my opinion first, and then I'll ask for yours. In my mind, the space is, and people are allowed to come and go as they please.
Absolutely.
As,
absolutely.
As
I agree.
of expression. And I would believe that even in the highest ranks, if you ask those individuals, I'm sure, I mean, I could be, just guessing, but I would believe that they'd be pretty down on, the space being shared, by newcomers and veterans altogether.
I completely agree with you. I think what brought that imposter syndrome and what brought that thing that I had to reconcile in my mind was the fact that I started that specific name and that specific style of music.
What was the name
as a joke? Johnny from the Burbs.
So we're talking about Johnny from the Burbs.
So we're talking about Johnny from the Burbs.
Classic.
So
I love Johnny from the Burbs.
All of that. Best. Like, but I tell you experienced the end era of Johnny from the Burbs.
That's so fair. That is like
when we were moving
refinement.
For real, when we were moving out of like amateur territory and like, who is this guy and what is his style and where does he know? Like, when I first started, I was still rapping with an American accent. So that's why I'm talking about like the imposter syndrome. Like, I used to have people tell me and come up to me and tell me that you sound like a black person from America. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, okay. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what is wrong with that is that I'm not being myself.
Okay.
I don't want people to get that impression or people thinking that I'm somebody other than myself,
For sure.
And that's why I say I'm a guest in the culture. And for me to be anyone other than myself, I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to be anything or that I need to be anything other than myself to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That really was a thought that played on my mind for the longest time in terms of like, I'm not on that level. I'm not on that level of like awareness in terms of social issues, like the stuff that I was talking about. When I go back and listen to it, it just sounds like I'm preaching about stuff that I didn't really know about. Yeah, you know what I mean?
In terms of like, what sort of subjects do you like?
For real, there was an inauthenticity to it that I kind of look back and I don't like, and that's why when I say that you experienced the latter half of Johnny from the Burbs, this is when I really started leaning into. I started rapping with the Australian accent. I started experimenting with my genre a little bit more, and not necessarily doing the straight. I wasn't necessarily doing the straight hip hop anymore. You know what I mean? I was doing more along the lines of, okay, now I'm mixing in my metal vocals. Now I'm mixing in singing and R&B and a whole host of other things of shit that I was listening to. And it got to a point where I had made a whole album of music that sounded nothing like the music people had become to know me for. Yeah. And that just completely put my imposter syndrome into another level. You know what I mean? So it was like, what do I do now? What I did was I reclined into myself for a year. I stopped making music. I stopped fucking pursuing anything. I started getting angry at looking at my Instagram. I was having these feelings of like self-doubt and watching everybody fucking like come up before me type shit. Yeah. And I felt like it was a selfish thing for me to look at that and not feel happy for the people who was like getting that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, bro, I just had to recline into myself and navigate who I wanted to be and who like I wanted to sound like and the character that I wanted to portray when I like come out and eventually start doing music again. And I tell you, bro, I was almost about to quit. Like I was dead set about to quit.
Music altogether?
Music altogether. Really? Like I was only going to do it on a hobbyist level. When I was doing stuff with my crypto shit and like trying to make a bag online, all that, I was willing to like not do it anymore. And I only did it as a hobby.
Yeah.
At the end,
Yeah, no,
How
go,
did?
go, go.
No, you go on, bro.
I
I
was
feel
just
like I've
gonna
been
say,
rambling.
like, no, you're chill. You ramble, man. I'm here for it. I was just gonna say, how did that, how does that turning point feel when you like look in the mirror and you're sort of there and you're questioning whether or not this is something that you really want to do? Because that's actually something that I find myself coming across paths with so
For sure.
often, and so I'd really like
I'll
to
tell
hear
you
how
what.
how
I'll
you
tell
thought
you the
about that.
day that it really changed for me was I took a bunch of mushrooms,
Yeah,
and they look. People say that they have prophetic experiences of mushrooms, but really, all it's going to tell you is stuff you already know, but are too scared to like tell yourself. You know what I mean?
facts.
And then it's really about what you do with that information afterwards. So I
Yeah.
had a mushrooms trip. This was late 2022. I had a
Yep.
mushrooms trip. I was standing there as a 150-kilo man. I hadn't made music. I hadn't made music in a year. I hadn't done the thing. Like, I had let myself recline to a state of always being online inside the four walls that kept me. And when I did these mushrooms, bro, they basically told me, you need to get back on your swag, bro. You need
Yeah,
to
boy.
start making music again.
Yeah,
You
boy.
need to lose. You need to drop the weight, and you need to like find yourself
Yeah.
to a certain degree. And I really took that and I heeded that message after I took those shrooms, and I said, I need to start going back into it. And along with that was like, I'm no longer Johnny from the Burbs. Johnny from the Burbs was a guy who made a certain kind of music. He was a guy who looked a certain kind of way, and he was scared to put all of himself out there.
Yeah,
But
for
who
sure,
I am
for sure.
is Bongus. I mean, when I was doing
Yeah,
the
right.
crypto shit, that's what
Yep.
people called me. You know what I mean?
Bongus?
When I was playing, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what people
yeah,
called me, because
yeah.
that was my alias. And the alias comes straight back from World of Warcraft days when I
Yeah,
was a fucking
boys.
Death Knight
Let's
Worgen,
go.
bro.
Bro,
You know what I mean? So
about it.
the shit has history to me
Nah,
to a certain
100%.
degree. And it's like I could never find the perfect stage name to fully encapsulate what I want. You know,
Yeah,
there's always going to be self-doubt around it. Am I completely in love with the name Bongus? Not entirely, but it's the truest thing to me.
Yeah.
And am I completely in love with myself? No, but I'm working at trying to love myself more than every day.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's gold. Boom. That's where we're at. This feeling of not feeling like yourself in the music. I've got a point that I want to come back to, but I've got a side tangent that I want to like sort of just creep into real quick. That
Sorry,
feeling
I
of not feeling like you were yourself, was that an afterthought that came with
Episode
the
1.
shrooms?
What'd you say? Sorry.
That feeling like you weren't being yourself in Johnny from the Burbs, was that a feeling that came post shrooms, or was that something that you had already felt a
it's
long time?
definitely. I mean, it's definitely
The
something
shrooms
that
was just
led
sort
me
of like,
to.
bah.
Yeah, the shrooms was more like taking me out of that feeling. You know what I mean? Allowing me to see that I was still myself, and there was still an opportunity for me to portray myself in a way that was more true to myself.
Cool.
You know,
Yeah.
and
So,
now
like,
I
taking
feel
it
like
out
where
of
I'm
like
at,
your own sort of mental traps, because bro, I swear sometimes,
sure.
I swear to God, lately especially,
100%.
but just like
and that
mentally,
comes back
it's
to
just,
what
like,
we're talking about at the
self-limiting
start
beliefs.
with the imposter syndrome, with the ego, with everything. And it's like, I'm now feeling like I'm in a place where I'm definitely more myself, and I'm definitely putting out music that sounds like I would have made it. And I'm not trying to be anything other than who I am in the best way possible.
That is really good. That is really,
Thank
really,
you.
really, really good. I think
Thank you.
I think that's really good. Well, yeah. No, we can drop that feeling stuff. I was just sort of like, in my mind, I was just like, nah, it's too twisted. I was gonna be like, I was like, if you're yourself and you're still rapping, but you're rapping the way that you wanted to at the time, is that not you doing what you wanted to do and in yourself and in its sense?
Look, it's a bit
being
convoluted
version
because
of
I
you
won't
doing
lie.
yourself?
There's an essence to it
Like,
where
it
you're
would have been
playing.
hype as fuck doing it. Like, you know, I wrote a song the other day. I don't know if I sent it to you, if you caught it on the story. I posted it up 3 hours later. I got baked, rewatch it, got insecure. I was like, take it down. I was like, take it down. I was like, I don't actually think that's that good. But, like, I was rapping from, like, a mental point of, like, back then. You know, like
Yeah.
a year and a half ago, 2 years ago type thing, where I was way more doing those sorts of things, you know, that I spoke about.
I get you, bro.
You know
I
what
get you,
mean?
man. And I think there's two sides to it, right? There's expression and character. Like you are everybody who's in rap is playing some sort of a character to a certain degree, whether it's in the way they rap or whether it's in the way they take their photos or shoot their music videos or the way they want to
100%.
come across,
Right,
like in their
whole
stage
religion's
appearance.
built around the whole idea of
For sure.
pretending that we're not all the same thing.
For sure. expression and character, but then there's also authenticity in rap. So it's like there's a fine line between the two. I feel like the state where I'm in right now, where I'm talking about certain things, I can slide under the guise of character and expression for a lot of what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to
I
music.
I hear your music and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty Johnny. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Bro,
like, this
especially
is it.
when we're talking about music like Trauma Squad music, that's definitely more on the expression level, because I'm talking about really angry shit, and we're talking about, sometimes we can get deep down in the emotional, and that's when it's more on the raw side and more on the side of like authenticity. But there's definitely points where it's like I'm putting the anger on a track.
Yeah, which is like, that's what we do though, right? Like that's
For
like
real.
as an artist, right? Like we take our emotions and we put it out there for the world to see. You like hang it up on a canvas, and a lot of people like see that and just be like, it's just music, or it's just lyrics, or he's just, writing whatever he's writing.
For
But
real.
like you can tell, you can feel the difference when someone's talking about what they're going through and somebody's just talking about, talking. However, I've got a point, because I don't know what the fuck did I just gotta. What is this? Did you see it? Did you see the Instagram comment?
I see
It's
a
like,
bunch of Instagram
I have
comments.
video proof of this man.
Yes,
eating
this
a
is.
banana
Do you know
in
who
one
that
bite.
is?
No,
That's
is
Tom.
that your
That's
mate?
Tom. No,
Oh,
that's
okay. I'm like, who the fuck?
It's Tom. He's been hitting the whole session. He's like, ask Bongus about his tax evasion. Talk about what happened to your neighbor's missing child.
That is so funny. I haven't seen like any of it. I look over and I'm like swallowing a banana in one bite, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? That's hilarious.
Pretty unhinged, bro. It's pretty unhinged.
Crack up. No, I was gonna ask, because I really love, and I guess the most obvious commercialized example of this is like Eminem, right? But the ability to sort of lyrically walk somebody through either a scene or a character, or see something or feel something, where they're that good at describing it, or even like the rhyme sometimes scheme can be basic, like it can be like A B A B A B whatever, right? But they're walking you through some insane
The storytelling
scene, like
aspect.
walking through like a murder. Oh, bro, I showed my girlfriend the what's that one horrible rap song?
I don't know which one.
Bro,
There's plenty of horrible rap songs.
Oh no, it's the one about how the kid thought he had to grow up being gangster and stuff, and so he like did what these gang members told him to do. His gang members
Help us
were
out, chat.
and it
Help
was
us
like, oh bro, it's so
We're
bad.
talking about Immortal Technique.
I don't know, but the dude ends up like with the gang, like taking the dude's mum. He didn't know it was his mum, and then him and the gang all sort of did like really heinous things to this woman, and then he realized
but
that
it's
it
the
was his
storytelling
mum.
aspect.
And, it's the storytelling aspect. It's a very intense song though. That's why I'm like, yo, when
But
you
it
can
drags you
storytell
through the
like
mud
that,
with it.
bro. It's like a 6 minute. It's a 6 minute run through.
There's new versions of that, because like you always think of the classics like Eminem and the rappers that predate Eminem, and even some of the guys who have come after him like Kendrick.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super in the source in the rap scene. Like, this isn't a rapping podcast, guys. This just so happens to be that I got bongers on here, right? And I and my past have written some songs that some throwaways for fun. So I've got some relevance to it, but I'm not trying to be like. I'm the hip hop daddy from podcasts.
That's okay. That's perfect. Joe Rogan is never a master at the craft that he brings on.
I'm just enjoying this space. I just like this. You know what I mean? But anyways, as you were saying, so Eminem before, after Kendrick.
So the guys like Eminem, the guys who predated him, and the guys who come after him like Kendrick. But I'm like I said, I'm tapping into the very newest underground wave, the shit that's coming out of America right now, the shit that's coming out of the SoundCloud digital scene. It's like the new awakening of that era again. Like when I got into hip hop the first time, it was that scene. 2016, XXX Tentacion, Denzel Curry, Ski Mask, like these guys. Classics. That was actually what put me onto larger hip hop, like Kanye and Kendrick. So it's pretty funny. I had the opposite reaction.
Oh, actually,
so I'm always
I think I had similar as well. Bro. I was like, I fucking hated rap and hip hop altogether. I was like, this is the worst ass ever. I can't understand why anyone want to listen to this shit. My friends are like listening to Broccoli, rolling up my broccoli. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit ever, right? And then I smoked weed. I'm not even kidding, bro. Not even 3 months later after smoking weed, I'm there and I'm jamming out to pretty much every single hip hop song I fucking hated. Every single one of them. I was
we
like, I get
definitely
it.
opened
I
my
get it.
ears up to being a less elitist listener because I used to be in a
Same.
similar spot. I used to be metal to the core, bro. You know, like I wouldn't listen to anything that wasn't a specific type of metal that I enjoyed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was
These
shit if it
days,
wasn't what I
I will
liked.
listen to whatever the fuck you throw at me. You know,
Yeah,
if
the
I can
boys.
find something that I like about it, I can enjoy it too. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, 100%. Now that's, well, in 2024,
That's how you have to be
right?
moving.
You almost like, yeah, it's not just that like you have to be, but it says a lot about you if you're not down to listen to somebody's music and actually understand the song for what it is, which is a individual piece of self-expression from the
Facts.
artist. Excuse me, I'm burping. Whereas, like, like I said, back in the day, if it wasn't XYZ, it was shit. I
Nah,
remember someone being
agreed,
like,
bro.
"Oh, Logic just released a new album," and I would be like, "Who the fuck cares about Logic, bro? We got fucking Arcee Alexandria or whatever." I'd be like, "Bro,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
where it's at. This is where it's at."
For real. I get you, bro. And it took me a minute to realize there's space for both. And you can enjoy both as much as each other and not have to go crazy. Like making this shit your identity and claiming superiority over one other genre just because it's like music is music, bro. You know,
Yeah,
people are gonna enjoy what they enjoy. And I, for one, somebody who keeps their ear to the ground and tries to fucking like just make a bunch of different sounding music.
yeah,
I appreciate the fact that I've been able to keep an open mind, you know?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, I just got lost in the fucking sauce there.
No, it's fact. Should that be a cone
Yeah,
then?
I was gonna. Yeah, bro. I was before. I was like, how? I was like, that was one thing we forgot to do. We forgot to pre-establish what we were gonna do if we felt like cones. But yeah, no, I'm totally with you. All right, guys. If you're in the chat, make sure you're pumping those bones, pump those
Make sure
cones
you're
with
pumping
us,
those
guys.
bones.
Or if
Do
you're
you
at
have a
home watching
question?
this and you're a viewer, saddle
Yes.
up, pack that bone.
You
Let's
should
get it.
ask the chat a question.
No, no, no. I want to ask you another question while we're ripping a bone.
Oh
What do you
yeah.
call? Because I was super curious. What the fuck do you call this type of music? Because I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I don't know what Bonnie's making. I call him Bonnie because it's Bonnie from the Gerbs, because we take Johnny from the Burbs and we switch the first letters. It's anyways. So there's Bonnie, right? So I was like, what is Bonnie doing? I was like, what is this? I was like,
What do you
what
think
is
this
it?
genre is called?
I
Okay.
have no idea. Hold on, hold on.
There's
But then, when I heard Yeet, is it Yeet or Yeat?
yeah.
Is it
Yeet.
Yeet? When Yeet made that song and it sounded so similar to the stuff that you were making, and it blew up and the comments were big and everyone was like, "Oh, this new song is so good." I'm like, "Oh shit, there's a market for it." I
Yeah.
was like, "What the fuck?" Right? And then when I saw that, and by the way, big congratulations on that video. I've got to,
Thank
we'll
you.
talk about that. That's on the notepad too. But yeah, I was like, "Oh, this is a thing." And then I sort of like gave it another listen and I was like, "Okay." I was like, all right. I was like, this is it. All right, cool, cool, cool. And you already know, my favorite's Villain, but we'll talk about that later as well.
Yeah.
Bro, Villain
No,
slapped.
you're right on the money, bro. So that wave is definitely what I'm trying to push. Like they, it can be referred to as super trap,
Super trap.
fucking super trap, hyper pop.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. There's a
Is it
whole bunch of
slash?
different names.
Bro, I'd imagine it falls under like this umbrella of like
There's
everything.
just an
So
umbrella. I mean,
yeah,
people you can just call it trap music.
yeah, it's a
You know, at the
fat
end of the
fucking
day,
umbrella.
it's just trap music, but it gets a lot of influences from different places, and it sounds inherently different. You know,
Nah, I
I've
fuck with
heard
it. Love it.
tread being used as a genre for it, but honestly, I don't know. I like to wear my influences on my sleeve a bit and throw a bit of everything in there. So, you know, you're going to hear a bit of Yeet. You're going to hear a bit of people like fucking Lunchbox, who I don't know if you know, but I'm just throwing out cunts that
No,
I
I'm
listen to.
fucking. No,
Like
I'm here for. Who
uh,
else? Well,
a lot
like,
of hyper pop, like breakdance. I
we'll
fucking love
smack
breakdance.
this. We'll smack this, and then I'm gonna ask you a generic question. Actually, I'm gonna ask you the generic question. We're gonna smack this, and then you can answer it. All right. So
Bet.
it's all right. 3 questions. 1, you get into the car, you turn your car on, you plug your phone in. What song are you clicking first?
Oh man!
Cheers,
All right,
cheers,
let's
cheers,
hit the song.
cheers.
I'll keep it 100 with you, and it might be a dickish answer, but at the moment, because I've just been making so much music, bro,
It's
and
your
trying to
own
make sure it
fucking
all sounds
music.
good, it's my own music. You know, the first thing I'm clicking in the car at the moment is my own music. But on the days where I'm not, the new Yeet album is getting my play at the moment. That is something that has really been pumping.
That's fucking hilarious. I love that. I fucking love that. For me, when I was in my car, you know, I got my
Yeah, I know.
chat. For
The
those who
little
didn't know, my license got suspended because I was driving without my license, so I had to wait 3 months before I can get my license back. Anyways, when I was jamming it, turned the bass all the way up, I was listening to like Red Rum and shit by 21.
Hard.
Bro, the
That
bass
was a cool
line on
album.
that is ridiculous. But
That was a cool
yeah.
album.
So my other questions are: 3 favorite albums, 3 favorite tracks, or 3 favorite artists, 3 favorite tracks. You could go one
True.
each. You could go one each. Actually, I'd love to do that. Actually, yeah, let's go one each. One of your favorite artists and one of one of your favorite songs
One of my favorite artists and one of my favorite songs.
of that artist.
Okay, and you want 3 artists?
Yep.
Okay. Metallica gets the like OG status for me, bro. They're like my boys.
That's
and I think I do have so many songs by them that I could say, but one of my all-time favorites by them, and it's not even one with vocals, bro. It's called Orion. It's just an instrumental, like an 8-minute instrumental that they put
Holy
out.
shit. What is it? Just guitar?
Just guitar and bass and drums, bro, and it's really cool. It sets a very nice picture. I'd honestly say that is definitely like a top 10
What's it
song
called?
for me when I get around to listening to it. Orion, Orion.
Yeah, right. That's gangster.
Deep
Slow.
cut.
Yeah.
But it's on Master of Puppets. It's very, very, very cool. At the moment, and for the last year or two, probably Yeet has been a contender in my favorite artists for the underground hip hop and even just rap in general.
Yeah.
I would say one of my favorite songs by him. Fucking, there's a couple that I really like. I'm gonna say I really like Mad 'Bout Dat. That's what it's called.
Mad
He's got a song
'Bout
called
Dat.
He's got a song called Sorry 'Bout Dat.
Sorry about
But then
that.
But then he released the sequel called Mad 'Bout Dat. And he says in the song, I was sorry about that bitch, but now I'm mad
Mad 'Bout
about that. And it's so fucking goated, bro. I love that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that one out for real.
And then amidst the controversy,
King.
I would still I would still have to say Kanye West, because like he put me on. You know, at the
Run
end
it
of the
up.
day, when I first got into hip hop, I bum rushed all of his albums. I picked my favorites. I analyzed. I studied. I tried to like
Let's go.
learn that shit like it was scripture, man. So like,
Let's go.
despite the fact that his legacy has been tarnished in recent years and the music that he's putting out isn't as good,
Yep.
at the end of the day, when it was a classic, it was a classic.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Nah, straight up. Nah, Kanye is an absolute G. Bro,
Now, locally, different local artists is a different story.
Well, yeah, come on. Go on, drop some friends. Drop some friends.
I'll drop some friends. My local goat would probably be my homie who's in the chat, Val Doxon.
Whoop,
I honestly think he's also in Trauma Squad with me, but my favorite song by him is Levitate. It's a solo song by him, and it's something where he's really just doing something really fucking different. And I'm not just saying that because you're in the chat, Doxy. I genuinely think like he's one of the artists who continues to like inspire and scare me. You know what I mean?
let's go.
And it's good in a sense that it's like it keeps
You know
me
I'm going to
competitive.
ask you
It
what
gives
the
me
fuck
that
that
edge.
means. What does
It
it mean
gives
by
me that
scare
edge.
you? When you say it scares me, are you like,
When
is that
I hear
competitive beast
when I
coming
hear
out
a,
of you?
like
Are you like
on
fuck,
a,
he's good?
like on a competitive level where it's like, oh shit, man, I don't know if I could ever make something that fucking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or that's something different, or something that like alien sounding to me. Like it's just like to be in somebody else's head and picture how they made that.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways, bro, because when I show
sure.
someone and they don't understand it,
Yeah.
I'm like, if only you could be in my head and see how I pictured it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you reckon that
and then
most
look-
people, when most people, what do you feel like the biggest misunderstanding is when people listen to your music as to what you're like trying to get across, or like what you're trying to do with it?
That is an interesting question, man, because I feel like it's so interesting. I've been hanging around Discord servers and group chats, and you know, I've been changing and shifting my market, so to say.
Yeah.
where the last 7 years I've focused almost entirely on trying to crack into the Sydney market. I've now set my sights more globally, and it's made me realize that my sound has more of a shot being appreciated by people outside of Sydney and Australia.
Yeah,
because
hard.
Sydney, and not to be that cunt who's like,
man,
the
fuck.
country hates me or anything like that. I'm blackballed. And that's not the case whatsoever.
No.
I've tried my shot here.
Yep.
People don't understand it. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just it's for a different market.
For
and
sure.
I want to be able to bring that wave here. So I'm very appreciative of being in Sydney, being in a world city where this shit is still so small that it can happen for somebody like me, and I'm not a fish in a pond, a fish in an ocean, you know what I mean? But
100%.
at the same time, I've realized that when I hang out in these Discords and I'm showing my music to Americans, they fucking get it. They get it. They understand it. They like the beats. They like the mixing. They like the flows. The accent like throws them off a bit, so it makes it sound like not what they hear.
Like the first time we all heard English rap.
For sure, exactly right. But Australia is just a little bit behind, man. I feel like the music that is getting popular there, like Playboy Cardi, Yeet, Osama Sun, like all these guys who are on the fringe or broken through the fringe or on the fucking bottom and still somehow like raking in streams and streams just through posting a fit check on fucking Instagram. We're going to be getting that in 5 years. And that's what I'm banking on, and that's what I'm hoping to
I hope so.
push and like progress, because the way I see it is it is a sound that I've slid into quite nicely. Like, it allows me to use my singing voice, which is something that in music, like, that's how I started out. In music, I started out singing as a singer in a metal band. So I can, to a certain degree, but not so much. We had another screamer in the band. So towards the end of our metal band, I would like try and incorporate that a little bit, but I was definitely like a clean singer, you know?
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Do you know why I started rapping?
Go on.
Always wanted to be front man of like a metal band. I always thought that'd be the coolest thing. I felt like I always had the energy to do it. I could crowd work like a motherfucker, get everyone to jump.
You got the build for it too, bro.
Tell me about it. Anyways, you can't sing for shit.
Don't need to sing, bro. Be in a hardcore band.
Bro, I can't sing for shit. Can't scream for shit. Don't have the money to learn at the moment. Garbage. But you know what? Rapping was free. And you can find beats on YouTube. So you can.
The barrier to entry for
so much
hip-hop
lower
and bedroom pop and that sort of genre is like very, very accessible, especially nowadays, bro. Like, if I was starting out nowadays, I'd have worlds of knowledge accessible to me on apps. Bro, you know what I mean? When I was starting out 8 years ago, it was different. And I still had that shit. I still had that shit. Yeah, I was plugging BandLab to you recently, and that shit is like, it's like crack, bro. It's crack for the music industry gateway. You know what I mean? You could be some kid, 13 years old, never touched a program in his life. You get on BandLab, you can start conjoining loops and making your own beats, or say, fuck it, I've got a YouTube beat. I'm going to chuck a YouTube beat straight in there, and there's vocal presets so that your vocals are already mixed.
I'm going to have to check it. What is it called again?
BandLab, and it's free. It's on the browser. It used to be only on the phone, bro. So I've met people who was making full tracks from their fucking phone and going crazy. And it's like, to be a kid again today would be wild, bro, because you could speed run that shit. But I am thankful to have the knowledge that I have.
Being at
I work
school,
hard at it, bro.
Especially now that these high school kids are getting like more, they're getting more switched on, younger. Bro,
it's amazing, kids, bro. I mean, it's cool.
If any of these kids realize that, like, some of these kids realize that, like, at school, they've got, this is like, I've got 1,500 kids around me that are fucking potential clientele. Every single one of these is a potential lead. I can run up to every single person, individually walk up to them just because they're in the same uniform. Hey, how's it going? My name is blah, blah, blah. Hey, look, today I'm trying to sell. Boom, 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 boom. Like, you could be walking up to any of these groups selling anything, man.
Facts, man. Bro. So that's, and honestly, that's how some kids are moving today, bro.
Well, you could be marketing your music like that. You'd be like, yo, check this out. Bro, people could hate it. You could be blasting it on the speaker, walking around school, around the lunch area, and being like blasting my new song till the teachers tell me to turn it off, and just be a kid walking around doing it. Viral video.
In some of these other Discords that I've watched, I've interacted in, and we've done song contests and shit. I've heard songs by 14, 15-year-old kids that have legit blown me away. They've made it on BandLab, and it's like, wow, man. Like, props to you, cunts. Like, I love to see it, because when I was 15, the only thing I wanted to do was play COD.
Yeah, dead ass, man. It was WoW. I just wanted to play WoW. All I wanted to play was WoW. Nah, 15 was definitely WoW. WoW, girls, and a little bit of tricking.
No girls for me, man. Not until later in life, bro. I was a hardcore gamer.
Bruv. I used to wake up at like 3 a.m. to game, play WoW before school because we weren't allowed to play during the day. And so I would play 3 till 7 a.m., then get ready for school, then go do school, blah, 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 trick, blah, 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 and then get home and go to sleep. Mum used to be like, wow, he gets so sleepy so early. This is
I was doing so much, man.
Bang on that grind.
That's that's the real grind, bro. The WoW grind. I mean, I was on the WoW grind recently with your brother, if you recall.
Bro, WoW is crack. That is addictive shit.
It's disgusting.
It is dangerous. It is so good. I love it so much. However, if you don't play for like a day or two, that's it.
Yes,
like it's an everyday game until it's like, oh, I'm not playing for 2 days now. I don't care. Yeah. So it's like, it's a pretty easy what's it called? When you're coming down off something forcefully, or they're like,
it's a good come down. It's not too bad, you know. After you stop itching at the skin for the first day, you'll be right.
Yeah, bro. Nah, if you really want to hear about how bad it got, me and my older brother, Jacob.
Yeah.
Me and my older brother at one point when one of the expansion packs came out, we were slamming like 4-pack of Monster energy drinks and then like a G or 2 of Bud each every single day, and we would just stay up, play WoW 18-hour days. And just sleep 6 hours, wake up, keep playing.
That's deadly.
Like
that's the fucking grind, bro.
I think we did it for like a month and a half. It was so good.
That's the grind.
You want to hear another question?
Of course.
Alrighty. I would like to know what it was like. I mean, we were pretty into the chat now, into the podcast now. It's a bit of an earlier question, but what was it like growing up for the old Johnny?
Oh yeah, interesting question. I mean,
where were you born?
I was born.
Where?
I was born in Winston Hills, which is Parramatta Council.
No, we would have beaten them on PWSA. Shout out Crestwood.
I was born in Winston Hills. I lived there for like 20 years of my life, man, and I've stuck around similar areas. You know, like I've stayed around the Parramatta Council my whole life.
Yeah,
that's where I'm living right now as well. And look, I won't lie, my upbringing was pretty good. I had a semi-decent high school experience. I mean, I was a bigger fellow, so sometimes I copped a bit of bullying, but I was also as charismatic then as I am now.
Really?
Like,
bro, what was high school Johnny like?
Bro, I was friends with a damn near a lot of people. I was like one of those guys who floated. I had my main group. I had my OGs, cunts like who you've met, Damien and Bez. Bez didn't go to my school, but we hung around him after school and type shit. Like those guys, you know? I had those guys, but I also floated around and spoke to a bunch of people, and because I did music at school and was always performing and doing all sorts of shit through that nature, like, I don't know, I just had a lot of interactions, had a lot of friends, had a lot of things that were like positive memories, especially towards the last 2-3 years of school.
That's so good. That's really good. And how was that attendance rate? Were you like wagging every second week?
Never wagged, bro.
Never
wagged. Never wagged once in my life. I mean, I called sick. A couple of times, but I didn't have to. But you know, I never wagged. I never showed up to school and left, and I never left with like I never jigged. You know what I mean?
Did they give you a percent?
No, I never got a percent.
I got like a 99.8 something percent. I was a fucking nerd for that shit, but I was a rap bag in every class. I was a rap bag in a lot of classes too, bro. I was like a class clown type figure. I was one of those guys that the teachers loved to hate and hated to love, because there was a few who did fucking love me, and there was a few who did fucking hate me. That's for sure. Yeah, let's go. Nah,
but,
big vibe.
I promise you, the character that I am now is, you know, just an evolution of who I started becoming when I was in high school.
Gangster. And so you finished high school at 18. That's when you finished in Sydney?
Yeah, I saw it all through, and then I went to uni afterwards.
28 now? Oh, yep. So that's what happened. So you did go to uni. What did you study?
I did go to uni. What? I studied a double degree of music marketing.
Yeah.
Sorry, arts, music and
marketing.
So arts, music is one degree.
Yep.
And then commerce marketing is another degree.
Cool.
So I've got a double degree, but technically I don't, because I didn't drop out. I deferred, and I'm on current deferral for one more unit.
Pause.
I'm on pause for one more unit. So I need to go back and finish that shit. Out of the whole thing.
For one unit.
So technically I actually have one degree. I have my arts and music degree.
Okay,
I just don't have the second degree. You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
So I actually need to go back and finish that, if I'm going to go back and finish that. I haven't completely reconciled whether or not I'm going to do that.
I did the same thing with my Cert 3 in fitness. There was one assignment that didn't get handed in, so I'm actually one assignment away from my Cert 3. But it's all like pre-saved and stuff. Like it's all on my progress test. So all I got to do is like sign myself up, do that one course at the very end, Right,
for sure.
and then I get my
And it's a
cert.
similar thing with me, you know. It'll be a 2 to 3 month commitment. I just need to go do it. I've just been slack, and honestly, it's not like a big priority for me because uni for me, that is where I thought, you know, a lot of people like don't like their time in high school. Me, my time in uni was less than fruitful. I feel like I didn't get as much out of it.
Oh.
I put myself in debt.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about your
I
time.
didn't lend myself. I didn't lend myself to the actual social experiences you could have had in uni.
Yeah.
And I kind of just isolated and stuck to a very small group of people. And I'm
Yeah.
thankful because I still have people who from uni I have made connections with. Like I'm playing a show on the 30th with a couple bands. One of the bands who sorted me out with the show, and I've played with them a couple
On
times.
a boat, they're playing.
On a boat.
On a boat.
On a
It's
boat.
Simo's Boat Chaos Saturday, 30th
Yes,
of March.
sir.
Reserve free tickets
Yes,
now.
sir.
Link in
Yes,
bio.
sir.
Link in bio.
Yes, sir. Link in my bio. But one of the bands that I'm playing with, Lotus Born, and they actually hooked me up with the gig was the front man I went to uni with, and we did music together, and we were always, you know, we've stayed on each other's radars and we've kept in touch, and a connection like that I'm very grateful for, you know. But I admonished myself for not using the pathways that were probably available to me if I wanted to use them at uni. You know what I mean? Maybe I thought I was too cool, or I don't know, but I just wasn't into it then, you know? And being truthful, I'm not really into it now. That's why I'm not going back right now. I think there is some worth and merit to finishing my degree, but right now it's probably not going to happen, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, no, cool. Totally fair, man. No, well, you know, so many people have different opinions on
for sure.
On uni degrees.
And then uni saw me through. I mean, when I started uni, I was in my metal band, Under Night's Cover, and that's what I was doing from the end of school into uni.
Yeah.
And we amicably broke up in 2017 because we decided that half the members are, you know, moving on and getting more full-time work and not able to commit, because being in a band is a much bigger commitment.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
If you're doing it on that professional level, you know what I mean? And there's 5 minds to coordinate with who have gear and, you know, have to, you know, start making these sorts of arrangements where now they work, and one of them was moving to Cairns and all that stuff. So viably, it was not an option anymore, unfortunately. No matter how much we wanted to keep doing it, like we've been doing this for 5 years, we're kind of playing to the same shows, same sort of stuff. Music is very hard for us to record because it was $6K to record the first EP type shit.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? So
no SoundCloud.
We're gonna move on. It's not about sound. It's just about literally getting the music recorded. You know what I mean?
Jesus, there's no like backyard way to do it like cheaply, or get like the first one out of the way, get the idea.
There probably was. We just didn't know how to do it, bro.
For sure,
you know, we were going to the studio and just like trying to track it like an actual band, which was expected of you back then. Versus now is the age of the bedroom producer, you know,
100%.
which I vehemently fell into. You know, I started producing in 2015 after I got a Mac laptop, and my boy Jackson said, "Have you heard of Ableton?" You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Ableton, shout out Ableton. What's the other one?
So he hooked me up, and Fruity Lips is the other one that I see a lot of people using, but I personally couldn't wrap my head around it. Ableton was my gang, and Ableton's where I've stayed.
Very nice.
I have experimented in other programs and had to do shit for uni and stuff like that. And way back in high school, I would play around in recess and lunch. I would go to the library sometimes and fuck around with the loops on GarageBand.
Yeah.
So maybe you can call that my earliest.
We used to do that shit as well.
For real. Maybe you can call that my earliest attempts at producing and shit like that. But uni was the transitionary period for me between playing in a band and then producing, and then eventually after producing my beats for a couple years and trying to find people to rap on them, I didn't like how people was rapping them, so I started rapping on them. And then whole journey of Johnny from the Burbs, and then now we're here, bro.
Bro, we love that. We love that. I've got a question. Did you prefer the metal band, or are you preferring the bars? Do you like?
I prefer the music I make now, but I do have a soft spot, and I do definitely miss the essence of playing in a band, using live instruments. Definitely that music that we made, which was it was a world apart from the music I make now.
Like, bro, imagine.
I make 2.5 minute pop ear candy now. Back then I was making 7.5 minute ballads like crazy Iron Maiden Dream Theater shit, you know, like shit that just moved.
Yeah.
And it is definitely two worlds. I miss it to a certain degree, but I think knowing that what I do now is everything that I can do on my own accord. Like I can produce a beat, I can put the vocals on it, I can sing on it in the background.
Do everything yourself shit is wild.
I can literally do it all down. Look, I don't do everything myself, and that's also a part of where I've had to come out of the transition from Johnny to Bongus, is that Johnny was so stuck on trying to do everything himself. Bongus leans into the fact that you can do things by yourself, but you don't have to do everything by yourself all the time. So now I lend myself to, maybe I'll rap on a YouTube beat now. Maybe I'll rap on a beat that somebody sent me. Maybe I'll get somebody else to edit a video or do some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Well, yeah, I was in the Discord with you earlier, and you had that friend from America, as you said. You got Americans coming in clutch. And she was like, yo, I got a mate. He's got a beat, or they've got a beat. You know, you want to check it out? And, like, that beat was popping. I was like, yo, and it's kind of slap. And they were, like, offering that to you. They were like, yo, here you go.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the side effect of me leaning into being somebody who's willing to just, like, say yes to the opportunity. You know what I mean? Rather than being 100%. Like, nah, I don't know about it, man. Because the side effect of me only rapping on my own beats and only, like, you know, just being so insular. Sorry, my mom is about to try to.
What's up, y'all? I hope everyone's having a fantastic today. This is a good time to place the ad break in for $100 million leads, acquisition.com. Alex Hormozi, by Alex Hormozi. He's got this book and his other book, $100 million offers, and I've learned so much from him.
Are you plugging your Hormozi?
Bro, I love Alex Hormozi, bro. He's the top.
He's going to start paying you money, bro.
No way. What do you mean? He's giving so much that's free. This is on the house. To the A.
He's gonna stop paying your buddy. Yes, shout out, Mama. I mean, you also asked about my growing up. I think my growing up was semi-interesting too, because I'm born to two immigrant parents.
True.
One from Italy, one from Palestine.
Yeah.
So two very angry and, like, outspoken sort of cultures and backgrounds, but two that, you know, definitely refined me into the person that I am today. I'm very thankful for. Do you feel
like you came to school with, like, a foreign twist, and that people either loved it or hated you for it?
To a certain degree. I don't know if my foreign twist was that much. I mean, I definitely got made fun of for being an Arab from time to time and stuff like that. But it wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't like, you know, I'm still. How do you say? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But regardless,
how you say. Right.
Like, how do you say? I was getting called all sorts of names when I was a kid at school. Wog, all sorts of shit that was harder. You know what I mean? And being completely honest, I've actually got a line about this in the song "Drip." Yeah. If you know it.
Same.
Eurocentric lessons made me hate my ancestors, and it's just talking about how the Euro washing and the whitewashing of certain things and narratives that I was fed when I was younger, especially like during the whole wartime of Afghanistan and shit like that. Like, I started to hate being an Arab, you know what I mean? Because I was like, you know, like, it's funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when I started to get more in touch with my roots and realize that, you know, there's narratives being pushed on us, and, like, I should be more proud of where I'm coming from and get more in touch with that sort of stuff, I realized, like, how wrong I was to feel that way.
No, I totally get it. Yeah, well, I mean, there's no better person than to be yourself, right? Like, that's
absolutely, and that you can only be yourself, and no one is better at being yourself than you. So, you know, I'm thankful for the unique background that I come from, and I think another part of uniqueness is I know a lot of people who come from similar backgrounds as mine, and they were prompted into different paths. They were prompted into paths that would have made their parents more proud, versus something like mine.
What do you mean by prompted into paths? Do you mean like where they landed?
Prompted into paths in terms of, like, maybe they should become a lawyer or a doctor or something like
as in
that.
First,
like,
second generational,
second generational pathing. Like, your parents made the big risk and the big sacrifice of leaving their home to come here.
Motherfucking music artist.
Yes, exactly right. So I always, you know, am thankful that there is that, like, allowance, you know. There was that support. They were always, especially siblings? My mom was very supportive of my music career.
Do you have siblings?
I do have a younger sister, and I have two older half brothers.
Ah, cool.
From my dad's side, before he was married before my mom. Yeah.
Cool. And how old's your? So you're 28, right?
I'm 28. My sister's a couple years younger than me.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And my older brothers are like 10 and 13 years older than me. And honestly, I don't really, I don't keep adults. Adult adults. I don't keep too much in contact with them. But it is what it is, man.
Makes sense. Nah, 100%.
Yeah.
Nah, I totally get it. Alrighty. Well, Well, that was what it was like growing up for you, which is pretty cool. Really cool to know. And so that's how you started your music career as well. That was a question that I had here, but as we know, you went from fucking in a band to being a producer to not liking the way people rapped about it to rapping your own shit to feeling like it wasn't you to taking some mushrooms to completely switching up your whole shit.
Yep.
Gangster.
It's been a long journey, bro. I mean, 10 years in the making, you know?
Well, yeah, I was going to ask where you're at, like, where do you feel like you're at now? How's the progress looking in terms
bro,
of, like,
I think literally the future is up. Like, from the whole name switch from 2023, when I linked up with my boys in Trauma Squad and we so vehemently came onto the scene with a whole album, a bunch of singles, a bunch of music videos,
so many
a bunch
singles.
of a bunch of shows, and then in tandem with pushing Trauma Squad, I was also putting out my own music.
Yep.
That was the singles that you were referring to before. Shit like Strange, shit like Back on My Swag, shit like Villain, which you love, and doing my content sort of shit where I was putting out like or starting to try out content here and there, a couple performance reels and shit like that. But in 2024, I've decided now it's like, this is where I have to go 150,000 fucking %, bro. Like, there's no more excuse. I'm 28 years old. I'm nearing becoming an old enough man where it's like, I have no excuse. I have all the knowledge in the game. I have all these fucking skills to be able to do it on my own accord. So why don't I just start doing it? And you know, you see, like, I've been doing my day in a life reels. I'm about to hit day 50. That's tomorrow. I've been doing my performance reels. I've been trying to figure out other ways to push my music.
You're reaching other leads. What is it? The idea is that you send one to many in public with free content. That's what you're doing, boy. And now speaking of content and pushing it out, my boy, you've recently got a 1 million plus view video on TikTok.
Yes.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Shout out to Mr. C, Connor as well, who was my co-star in that thing. Look, I'm in two worlds about it, right? The first world is like, it's awesome to know it can be done. And I was over the moon when it first happened. And it's like, wow, this is actually attainable. From my four walls, I can reach the world. It was the first time anything had gotten past beyond the 10, 20,000 view threshold for me. So for me, it was a big thing. 100%. But on the other side of the coin is the fact that I wish it was a video that was better portraying my music or better portraying my character, because it is kind of just a meme that blew up. I'm glad that I caught the trend early. Like, if you look at the hashtag, I was like the second fucking person to do it.
That shit is blowing up. You were like, oh,
for real, like it's still going. I could make a video of me doing it tomorrow.
You started the trend. I would be
to a degree. I'm not going to say I fully started it, but I definitely pioneered it with...
Like, by doing it, he's just posting original content. Unless somebody copies it, it cannot be a trend. You started the ball.
There you go, then.
In my mind, you started the trend. Because, it's not like, anyone who just put something out, right? But you were like, nah, this is how we're going to respond to this sound in this video. And then other people were like, we're going to respond the same way. And then, bam, it became a trend. But you were there. That was you.
Nah. I get you, bro.
Like, have you seen that video of everyone of that one guy dancing out in the middle of nowhere, and then one guy joins him, and then everyone starts joining them, and then there's this big crowd of people dancing? Have you seen that video?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. But yeah, they say that the person who started the whole thing wasn't the guy standing there, but the first person to get up and be
came and join. I get you, bro. I get you.
So
that's gangster. And so I mean that's my thought on it. But it's left me in a state of, if it can be done once, it can be done again. So I'm just going to keep pushing and dropping content. I'm trying to drop content every single fucking day, if not every day, every other day. And try to make sure that it is also balanced between quantity and quality. Like, I don't want to just be dropping poo-poo out there.
100%. Nah, I totally fucking understand. But
I've got a whole album
Do you
ready.
have like a list writing?
I've got two fucking albums ready. I've got two fucking albums ready. So 22 tracks. Ready to drop. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie, maybe 5 or 6 need a couple last minute amendments, but if I truly wanted to, I could drop a whole album tomorrow. But I'm just trying to figure out the best ways to approach it. I'm trying to put out a bunch of music right now in terms of the form of reels. I'm not actually dropping the songs just yet, but I'm putting a bunch of music out on reels just to show people what's coming and just to try and creatively market in the time so it gets stuck in people's heads by the time it's ready to release.
100%. 110 fucking %. I actually had a mate who recently dropped a song, shout Ronan. He dropped a line.
Hard.
And bro, he fucking Ronan's a G. He'll hype up something for like 3 months.
That's how you have to do it, bro. You know.
But yeah,
I mean,
by the time that shit drops, I'm like, yeah, this song fucking.
I dropped Strange back in October, but by the nature of it's going to be on the album, it's one of the only 2 songs that's actually been fully released on the album. Because it's on the album, because it is released and people can stream it over and over again, that's a song that I still frequently promote and will still be in the background of reels and on my story and shit that like I want people to make sure that they are hearing that.
Fuck yeah.
Because that's out. That's something you can go and stream right now if you want to listen to Bongus, you know? But all this stuff right now that I'm doing, Bongi's World, it's literally world building. In the most simplest form, it's like I'm trying to create a whole world based around this album and the future albums that I'm making around that and around this sound that I'm trying to push and bring to Australia.
Yeah, I love the community you're building as well. I want to talk about that. We've also got something packed here.
I'm down with that, bro. I think this is a good mark in the conversation to do it.
100%. I was just thinking, the community that you're starting to build on Discord, that's really amazing. You know, I would love for people to, you know, hear about that, and if they, you know, if they'd like to get amongst that, how they can do that as well.
Absolutely.
Obviously, all the links, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the links will be down in the bio of everything that we're discussing here, including tickets to the boat party performing Simo's Boat Chaos. Chaos, Saturday, 30th of March. You can reserve your free tickets now. Links in the bio. It's fucking me.
Should we hit this coin first?
Yeah, 100.
What do you want me to answer the question?
Cheers.
Gangster. Blessings.
Oh, I could make mine bigger. I packed it a bit ago. Now I'm more sober. Cheers.
Gangster. So yeah, I'm building this community on Discord, Bongi's World. I won't lie, it's not my first run in the world of Discord. I've been a Discord god for like 4 years, bro. I've had many a server, you know. We met through Discord, so you know it's not something that's foreign to me. But I feel like after hanging around in a couple other music Discords, one specifically Off Record Sounds, I want to shout them out. They really, I mean, they started linking me up with like the person who came in today, Kashi. She's from Vegas. The only way I ever would have met her was jumping in a server like ORS and putting my ears on other people's music and being open and like willing to make these new friends and these new connections. But also they welcomed me with such open arms and they gave me a place to show my music, show my work in progress, and they actually fucked with it and understood it. So, you know, they also gave me critique when there was places for it to be improved on. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. That's fine, bro. That's crazy. I didn't even know there were live video limits.
That it could end?
Yeah, I didn't know it could end.
Yeah, what was ORS?
So ORS is Off Record Sounds.
Yes.
They are like an underground rap page. They have about 40,000 followers on Instagram. But you know, They started their Discord community. I jumped in at like late October and I didn't say a word in there until one day I randomly saw they were having an open mic.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to show in and show some of my music and see what they think. And they just welcomed me with open arms and I stuck around for the whole night. And then it's gotten to the point where I'm a mod in that server now. So I've gotten a little bit of like, you know, connection and networking done with the people who run the server there. And
how big
a lot of the people.
Big is that server?
Server's maybe like 1,000 to 1,500 people.
Oh,
so it's a pretty decent sized server. Like what I'm working with, the community that I'm building with is obviously a lot smaller. And it also centered more around my music and my movements. But it's also a platform for everybody who is...
On Linkin. Anyways, yeah, keep going.
It's also a platform for everybody who is... Are you going live on the other account now?
Well, no. I was meant to go live on Local Linkin, but I think I accidentally went live on Lockie Linkin.
No, that was Lachlan.
Oh, it was? Oh, man, I think it was fucking... That weed's pretty strong.
But yeah, like I said, it is a space not only for people to stay in track with my movements and obviously for the community that I'm trying to build, like Bongi's World, it's also a place for like younger artists and new creatives and cunts like that to come in and have a platform.
When I was in there earlier today, I was getting hype. I was like, yo... I was like, I know how to make shitty.
For real. But I mean, there are people.
When I say I know how to make shitty music, I mean like I know how to make something that I can present. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
you know what I mean? But I guarantee you there's people who are just starting out in there, and I love that, and I encourage that. People who are just starting out to come in and get ears from people who have been doing it from a couple of years.
Yeah.
And see how you can improve. Because I'm going to keep it 100 with people. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sugarcoat shit, but I'm trying to come from a place of love as well, you know?
Yeah. No, you've definitely never been anyone to really sugarcoat anything. You've
No. 100%. I definitely keep it 100 all the time. For better or for worse, I think sometimes I can speak.
I'm here.
You know what I mean?
I'm like this type of people I want to be around. I don't want somebody to tell me fuck.
100%. But yeah, the Discord server, I recently started up. It's 2 days old. There's 56 members in there. It's already starting and proving to me to be like a little hub that people can come in and ask for advice, either from me or from the other people in there, and hopefully start to work together soon. That's what I like, because when I was like chopping it up in ORS earlier in the last couple weeks, that's what I found to be most opportunistic, is not only just getting people to hear my music, but the random beats floating in there and the random collabs. And I've made 2 tracks with 2 different artists from that server that I've met. And like, I'm just hoping that I can build the same thing, because back when COVID was first the thing, I was doing a similar thing. I was doing Discord sessions for a lot of the artists that I knew back then, and it brought me closer and it kept me in my game when it was like we weren't doing shows anymore and we weren't able to get in the studio anymore. And like, there was such a big shift from working with people as frequently as I did when I was seeing guys like Blackbird and Merc and my homies who are actually still homies with me in Trauma Squad, and like we have that legacy. I was working with them way back then. When we couldn't do that no more, we was on Discord, and it wasn't just us, it was a bunch of people. So it was like,
for sure.
I'm happy to be doing that again.
Was that transition something difficult for you when it went from pre-COVID, like COVID happening, and then going
honestly, to a certain degree, yes, because it was like I was playing a lot of shows, and then all of a sudden they dried up, and shows was a good way to get the name out and make money. And then like after COVID was officially done, I feel like I had kind of lost my swag and my love for it a bit. So I wasn't posting as actively on Instagram.
Bro,
so maybe I'd lost.
Vibe. All right, just
I really liked the vibe,
man.
but the thing is, I wasn't as active on music as I could have been in terms of pushing it out. The first year I was, but the second year and beyond that, like when COVID came back, I could have been way more. But I did put out shit like, you know, the EP with Bart, Proceed with Caution on Johnny from the Burbs. It's just like, I look at the way that I'm working now versus the way that I'm working then. And the way that I'm working now reminds me of when I first started. And I might not like the music from when I first started, but what I really admire is how fucking hard I was going and how much passion I had and how willing I was to experiment.
Yeah, let's go. Nah, that's good. Yeah, man, I feel like same thing. I feel like when I first started writing, I used to be all like, throw me any beat. I'll rap on anything.
For real.
Just fucking throw me a fucking washing machine with an awkward bang and I'll fucking click my fingers and give you something. You know what I mean?
You, bro.
But now I feel like I'm like, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, I don't like this one.
For sure. And that's how you have to be, bro. These days I'm way more into the mood of making like, and not just hopping on everything, more like curating a very specific sound that is akin to me and my personality. And like when you hear it, you're like, that's Bongi. That's Bongi's world, bro.
Yeah, the boys. And so is it Bongus? Is that the name, or is it Bongi's world? What's the like?
Look, so it's Bongus, but Bongi's like the name for short. I actually almost had a thought today where it's like, should I change the Spotify name to Bongi and like just analyze it under that brand so there's no confusion with the X? But I don't know where we're gonna go with that yet. I don't want it to, because it's not like an identity thing. It's just like a what's gonna be easiest.
People to like.
What's gonna be easiest?
Yeah. I mean, like.
But you know,
Bonky.
This is the tag I use in all my music.
100%. I reckon the tag is like, you know, it's not like 21 Savage's ad lib is 21 Savage.
Yeah.
21 Savage.
You know what I mean? So it's like
21.
I'm trying to build that word. Whether you call me Bongus, whether you call me Bongi, like it is what it is. I'm just trying to get the music out there in a way that like works. People still call me Johnny. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. Like on a poster, it will be BXNGUS. My IG is at I hate Bongus to make it even harder. IH8.
Wait, if you see it on a poster.
If you see it on a poster, it's BXNGUS. Bongus.
That's how I've got it. Yeah.
But if you see me on Instagram, it's at IH8 BXNGUS to make it really hard for you. But you know, it is what it is. See, that's the biggest thing for me is like, damn, maybe that is like a barrier to entry to people. But it's like, maybe I'm just thinking about it too deeply. Maybe maybe I should just like do fucking me to the T.
Well, there's like two different perspectives, right? Like you could search engine optimize your name, or you could just make more popular music.
That's what I'm trying to do.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make more popular music so that the people remember the name, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So I reckon that's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's fuck gangsta. As you know, my favorite is Villain. We went through what you like to close type of music. Trauma Squad.
Gangsta.
Who are they? What the fuck?
The boys.
What's that?
That's my boys, bro. So Trauma Squad, it's
no
something
girls,
that
just the boys.
Just the boys, bro.
Just the boys.
You know, I don't know if that's not necessarily intentional, but it was just it was a forming of the collective minds that were at that time. You know what I mean? And we pinpointed a certain style of music that everybody was interested in making, and a certain aesthetic that we all kind of kept to, and bands that we listened to, rappers that we listened to, all that sort of shit. You know what I mean? So we have collectivized, and originally it was actually going to be a platform for us to push our music individually. But when you get 7 artists together, 7 musicians together, it becomes one of those things where it's like, why aren't we making music with each other? And the music that we made with each other bangs so hard. Like we dropped a whole album last year, and we just dropped an EP, I think a week and a half ago, Blunt Force Trauma. And bro, when I tell you, like, making music with a squad of people is like, it reminds me of the band days, more or less, you know? Shit can get heated and there can be tensions flying, but when you make the music, it fucking slaps, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to ask about intro.
Ultimately, it's a different sound.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's a different sound to what I think I'm pushing with the bongus wave, but I think it's something that allows me to express that side of myself.
You sound a little bit more hip-hop on Trauma, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
A little bit more hip hop and a little bit more leaning into also the dark wave in terms of like, there might be some screams on a track, or there might be a little bit of that emo shit happening. Like, definitely lean into that side on Trauma a little bit more. Whereas my music's definitely more underground, hip hop, trap influenced, where it's like just, a lot more experimental, a lot more different shit coming in. And we're trying to blend the two worlds. I think the Trauma boys are very interested in that to a certain degree, but we also have our refined sound that I think we're able to find very quickly that we can stick to and dominate and evolve, from there.
Fuck yeah. I love that. Is there ever any sort of, you said there might be some ups and downs. Is there any sort of like tension between you guys ever beyond just like the normal?
Not beyond the normal shit, bro. I mean,
has everyone been there from the day dot?
Yeah, almost everyone has been there from the day dot. No, there's actually 10 of us, right?
Oh, shit.
So there's 3 artists, 7 musicians. One of the artists came in recently. That's Zane.
Wait. Just for people at home, definitely not me. What's the difference between a musician and an artist?
When I say artist, I mean more like a graphic designer or a visual artist.
Okay, so that's included inside the Trauma Squad.
That's included in our collective because they're in-house. And if we need to go for them to, they will push. They're pushing alongside us. They stand on us on stage and shit like that. They'll be singing the music with us alongside us. They'll be at the studio sessions. They're just as much a part of the collective as everyone who's making music, as long as we're all willing to put in the work, And some of those guys work very hard, you know what I mean?
For sure. Nah, gangsta.
But in saying that, no, the lineup has changed a little bit over the years. Over the year. When we started, we had some members that have moved on, and I would say for the most part it's been very amicable. There was a little bit of tension at the start, like working things out and hashing things out, but the state that we're in now is one that is a lot more comfortable with each other. One that is a lot more locked in and linked in, but there's definitely still like concerns, not on terms of like the group's dynamic, but like just shit like my brother Merc, bro. Like he's part of Trauma, and like we haven't heard from him since December because he's been. I don't want to like let too much go because I don't know how personal he would prefer me to like keep it on a YouTube video. But like I just haven't heard from him in a long time, and haven't been able to hear from him in a long time because Merc, yeah, Mercaset.
shout
And
out
like
Merc.
I've been making
Rest up,
music with
Merc.
him for a long time, bro. You might even remember the song that I did with him as Johnny from the Burbs when we were doing a video at Parkley Markets. Got the whole world in the palm of my hand, bro. Did a whole music video for it, and that shit went crazy, bro. I was about 40 fucking kilos heavier, but it still goes hard, bro.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, nah, definitely. I really enjoyed the Johnny from the Burbs and all those.
I know you did, and there's
slap.
plenty of people who do, and there's plenty, and that's why I've left the music up, because I don't want to erase that era. You know what I mean? That era has its own fans.
I know that a certain other brother the other day let his mate. Fuck, my throat's super dry and I'm super. I'm fucked up, but I'm holding it down. I know that my older brother the other day was like, "Oh yeah, I totally put you onto my mate. Yeah, I told him that you were Johnny from the Burbs, and I showed him bubblegum pop." How did that feel?
How does it make me feel?
When you were like, yeah, gangster. You're like, sick.
Yeah, look, it is still gangster because that is still a part of me, but it's not like, it doesn't do much for me now.
Yeah,
it honestly isn't putting people onto me. Maybe through the nature of like, he really fucks with bubblegum, and he's like, oh, what is this guy doing now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he worked hard enough to find out what I was doing now. Then it would have been putting him on. Yeah. But I still appreciate it. I'm always going to appreciate people directing people to my art, but I definitely feel like the music that I'm making now is more representative of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. And so you would definitely prefer somebody to obviously.
Absolutely. I would definitely prefer somebody to plug a song like Strange or a song like Back on My Swag, because that, those two songs especially, because they're going to be on the. At the moment, out of the songs that are released, it's definitely Strange.
Strange. What about, is there a favorite that you haven't released? Is there?
Oh man.
Oh bro.
I've got songs on songs in the vault that have just like, yeah, I'm so keen to get them out. Like I wish I could just drop them tonight, but I feel like I would be shooting myself in the foot if I didn't do myself right and try to market these to a certain degree properly.
100%. You just gotta play it, clip it now.
You want a clip?
Bro, you gotta play something in the background.
You know what, bro? How about I stream you an unreleased song?
Yeah, the boys. Let's go. Let's hear these bangers. It should just pick up.
1 sec. I'm gonna stream it so you can actually get the audio, bro.
I'll have to click it.
Okay, you're gonna have to bear with me for a sec.
So I'm watching this. Popping it out.
Tell me what you want. You want something hard, or you want something poppy, or you want something that's a bit of both?
I wanna hear what you want to show me. Which I know is super vague, but I love that super hard shit. But like, I don't.
Yeah, I know you like that super hard shit.
Like,
so
I wanna hear what Bongi wants to show us. You know what I mean?
I get you, bro.
So like, I think the most authentic way for me to get a taste of your music is for you to show me a song that you think, you enjoy. If it's a preference of yours and you made it, that's a pretty. It
sucks because I enjoy them all, but I'll show you this one because I produced the beat on it, so I think that's authentic. Oh, you know what?
The one that recently got.
Recently got what?
Did it get like just clipped a little bit on Instagram?
I clipped it on my story this morning.
Yeah, right. Maybe it was today. I don't know.
Can we hear this?
Unreleased. Bongi, unreleased.
Yep. Unreleased Bongi.
Unreleased.
I'll mute my mic so people on your stream can hear it.
Bongi.
I'll put that on my bitch. I'll put that on my wrist. I'll put that on my. I'll put that on my. I'll put that on my bitch. I'll put that on my wrist. I'll put that on my. I am the best at this. You know I kiss and tell. You know I go to hell. I know you smell that smell. My shorty cast spells. Hey. Yeah, my shorty casts spells. Ay, ay.
Donkey.
It's all in the way that you move. Like ring on my phone what's a move. I really got something to prove. They really got nothing to lose. Open up magazine shoes. I'm taking my bitch on a cruise. Ay, I'm smoking my treat on my muse. Yeah, I really think I'm about to lose. Yeah, ay, that's Tony on my feet. My bitch just bought that shit. My bitch just bought that shit. My bitch just put. She got an attitude. She think you stupid dude. Left in her DMs view. I know that killed your mood. That's Johnny on my bitch. We better fuck on Twitch. We getting money rich. Infinite money glitch. That's funky on my bitch. We better fuck on Twitch. We getting money rich. Infinite money glitch. I put that on my bitch. I put that on my wrist. I put that on my I put that on my I put that on my bitch. I put that on my wrist. I put that on my I am the
Wait
best
for this. This is the beat switch.
This is the basic shit. I mute myself too.
Fuck it, I need me a smoke. You wake up forever still work. These people they think they work. These people they think I know where I am. All that shade blocking my eyes. It's what they fantasize. I was putting 3 days trying to wake in the stew. I don't want to hear that, I want it like you. I don't want to hear that you put in the hours. When I put in the hours, my brother is true. Hey, I know who I am. All that hate up in my mind, it stopped me from my grind. That's how I put that on my bitch. I put that on my wrist. I put that on my I put that on my I put that on my bitch. I put that on my wrist. I put that on my I am the best at this. I put that on my bitch. I put that on my wrist. I put that on my I put that on my I put that on my bitch. I put that on my wrist. I put that on my I am the best at this.
Feel like I feel like caveman discovering fire for the first time. Bro, we better fuck on Twitch.
Yeah,
we
man.
better fuck on Twitch.
Not to go all genius like doing analyzing the lyrics for you, bro, but I feel like that song is such a like cool amalgamation of worlds where it's like I'm doing the stupid flexy, like being that hip hop, like that trap dude.
Bro, I reckon
like
you could go viral on TikTok. Fucking just
I
keep
put that
hearing
on my
yourself.
bitch.
Nah, man.
I put that on my wrist. I'm about to fuck on Twitch, shit like that. But then when I switch it up, bro, the shit that I'm saying when I switch it up, bro, I say I was pulling 3 days up on awaken. I was pulling 3 days up awake in the stew. I don't want to hear how I want this like you. I don't want to hear that you put in the hours when I put in the hours, my brother. That's true.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about. I'm actually putting the fucking work in, bro. I'm talking about the different styles I'm experimenting with. I'm willing to go out and make 2 tracks in a fucking day, 40 tracks in a day, 0 tracks in a week, bro, because I can't make shit. I'm just stuck on one trying to perfect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just there like constantly trying to do something different with it. And like, I don't know. I see too many people talking and not walking.
Yeah, no, facts. No, I definitely fucking... That's why I love your villain so much. It gets me every single fucking time. But
yes,
it's that line. What is the... something about fucking... Name a cunt who could something like match my ambition or whatever.
Yeah. Name another cunt who can match my ambition. No, or name me 3 other cunts. Something like that. I'm not gonna lie. When you make as many songs as me, bro. When you make as many songs as me, it starts to like, damn, which lyric is which? Which lyric is which?
Nah, don't get me to quote. Don't fuck it, bro. Somebody plays my old tracks.
But I love when somebody tells me they like a lyric from a certain song, and it's like, damn, yeah, fucking earth, bro. Like, I put out the reel of me lifting the weights, and I left a lyric in at the end. It's where did I'm moving? They call me Guts because I'll be going berserk, which is a reference to the Berserk anime. The main character is called Guts. But I left that in because I'm like, that's such a hard line. If anybody gets that, they're gonna get that, bro. You know what I mean? It's gonna hit so hard. And somebody commented about it. Berserk line is sick, bro. And I knew it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I don't think. Being completely honest, I wouldn't call myself in the scope of lyrical rap. You know, I'm not really thinking too hard about the lyrics in terms of like,
Rap's
are they telling a story? For sure. But I'm not thinking about, are they telling a story? Are they selling something like that is with a message. But I think what it's actually selling is like a certain lifestyle or a certain character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Instead of it
You know, when
being
you listen
like
to my music, I'm
racks,
selling a
titties, and
feeling.
shit.
I'm selling a feeling of like what I think a lot of the themes of my music, and especially the upcoming albums, a lot of the themes are themes of like triumph and change and going through hell and coming back and trying to become a better man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also a lot of the flexi trap shit, but you know, half of that is like that is what you hear in music, and that's what I listen to in music, and that's what I like to hear in music. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm playing that card, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
I'm playing that
Fucking-
card because I listen to it. I like to slide right into that like genre and
it's something
that
you enjoy,
lyric
man, I
theme,
reckon
and,
just go
and
for
yeah,
it.
for sure, bro.
That's what I'm about. Fuck yeah. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. So, those live shows, they look fucking
Ah,
wild.
yes.
Is there much of a turnout? How do they go for you? What's that like?
Look, it's mixed.
You're
I won't
unconscious
lie,
as
it
well.
is mixed. We can body a con, bro. The
Body
live
it.
shows are mixed.
Oof.
At the start of the Trauma Squad era, we were doing a lot of shows, and obviously when we started out, there was a lot more. And as we've done more, because we've saturated the space, I feel like people have kind of like seen what we have to offer for now. So we've kind of made an executive decision for this year to recline into the recording and recline into the work and leave shows off the table unless there's a really good opportunity for us.
You could like market
Now-
the shit out of one every 3 months.
And that's what we're thinking. Like,
Yeah.
do a big one,
Like
probably
the
not every 3 months,
boat
probably like 6
cruise
months.
coming out.
The boat cruise is just me. So I'm
Is it
very
actually
excited
just
for that
you?
because the boat cruise is just me where I'm going to play my
Bongo's
solo music.
performing on Simo's Boat Chaos Saturday, 30th of March. You can reserve
It
free
is.
tickets now at Linkin Bio.
It is. So I'm very keen for the boat show because it's been a long time since I've played a solo show. I played one solo show last year, which was I was opening for my boy Val Doxson, who also plays in Trauma with me. He was releasing an EP with his friend, a solo EP, and they had me open up. And that definitely reminded me how much I like to perform solo, and especially in the essence of my music sounds different. So like I'm taking my auto-tune pedal with me,
Yeah.
so I'll be able to go crazy on that shit.
Bro, I love that shit.
I'll be able to go crazy on my auto-tune pedal and like show a different side of me that maybe people last year weren't able
Show
to
the viewers
see.
how that shit works. Show the viewers how that shit works.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in key or anything, but you know.
It's good enough.
And then you can go up and down like this. Oh, hey, how's that going? Yo, yo, yo. The person who put me onto this is Echo Atari. She
Bro,
has a
that shit
auto-tune
is
pedal.
awesome.
And I've played live with her a couple times and actually have an EP with her, 3 songs that I don't know when we're going to release, but it will come out in due time. She's cool, man. She makes World of Warcraft inspired auto-tune rap, bro. It's
That's
very,
fucking
very interesting.
sick.
Very
I want to hear
gangster,
some of
bro.
that shit for sure.
No, yeah. I'll send you
Rah.
some links, bro. I'll put you on. I was actually going to plug her before when I was talking about my favorite local artist. She'd be the other person I would have plugged. is
Yeah,
Echo
fuck
Atari,
yeah.
just because I feel like she's so different, and she's also tapped in on a similar wave that I'm tapped into, like pushing a sound that is not necessarily accepted in Australia, but she understands that and she's going to do it anyway, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
find
she
that
put me
there's
onto the auto-tune
much of
pedal.
a range of genres in Australia, or do you reckon it's pretty easy to sort of like...
In terms, there's definitely a range of genres, bro. Like, when I hear some of the shit that's coming out of here, it surprises me. But what's accepted and played and, like, pushed is a different story. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
once again, not to be that guy, but it would be a lot harder for, you know, I feel like the song that I just showed you is not for the Australian market.
Yeah.
The American TikTok market would eat that the fuck
I reckon,
up,
like...
bro.
I reckon...
There's a market for it in Australia, but it's not
Yeah.
for the Australian market. You know what I mean?
I
You know what
totally...
I'm trying
Okay,
to
yeah,
say?
100%. I
That's
totally
quite
get that.
niche here, you know?
Yeah, no, that is
Where
totally
in America,
accurate.
it's bubbling under the surface. Like, it's a thing. Like, Yeat's making tracks with Drake and Future and Lil Wayne, and
Oh,
Cardi's like,
shit.
got his own wave where he's working with Kanye West.
Oh, bro,
And
you're a
they're all
fucking early
pushing their
adopter. Push the
individual
fuck
waves
out of
there
this
where they've
shit.
got clones on clones of clones of, like, they're taking their sounds and evolving it further, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the wave that I'm on. I don't want to be necessarily known as a clone because, especially, another thing is I think my Australian accent put on that type of music sets me far apart from what people over there are doing. So I think when I'm showing my music over to Americans, like, some people might not like it, some people might not be able to understand what I'm saying, but the guys who like it, they are enamored by it and they are, like, shocked by how interesting it sounds, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's dope. Yeah, well, I literally remember, like I said, the first time hearing UK rap was fucking shocking to me. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
fucking like it. And then someone played me H,
Yeah,
and I was
same.
like, this shit slap.
Same, and you have to get used to it. But like when you find those artists who are able to navigate a certain sound that may not be like of their region, but they can still put themselves on it and make it work for them.
Yeah.
There's something to commend about that, and I feel like I may not be there 100% yet. I still think I'm finding my sound every single day with every new track that I make. But I'm much closer to thinking that I have the sound that I see and picture in my head when I hear myself making music, you know?
Yeah.
I made this going.
Yeah, let's pump it. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Big.
All right.
What was that?
Are there multiple underground scenes?
Definitely, bro. There's scenes within Sydney, like little cliques and little things like that. But then there's also like the Melbourne underground scene, and I'm sure that the way they operate the underground scene there is the same way it operates here. I mean, the way I see it is, I'm within my own scene. It's very well defined. Like I have my guys in Trauma, I have my artists around us who work with us quite vehemently, and we play gigs with them from time to time. And like they are the artists who are also brought up in conversation with us. I would love to see more conjoining of the scenes, as I'm sure anybody would. But, you know, the reality of the situation is that everyone's trying to do their own thing. And in the nature of that, you know, people get lost. People are, you know, kept at their own pace because other people are moving at a faster pace. You know what I mean? Or getting eyes on them before somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say, I remember a while ago, I went to a certain Sydney rappers concert, you know, up in Brisbane, and I told you about it. You were like, that's cool that you like that guy, and you went with, you know, and saw it and you did enjoyed it. But like, our scenes and our clique, we don't really like connect. Or, you know,
Yes.
we're like, we don't fuck with them. Like,
Well, it's not on that. It's not even on that level.
Yeah, I'd like to know how that
No,
sort of,
it's not.
like,
It's not even
worked,
on
or,
that.
like, how that
It's
sort
not
of...
even. It's not even on that level, bro. It's like, I'm not even. I don't look at anything outside of a music perspective. So when I say I don't fuck with someone,
Yeah.
it's basically I don't really fuck with their music or the character that they've built around their music. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So my opinions in the scope of my group are usually of my own. I actually a lot of the music that they like. Sometimes I'm at odds ends with it. You know what I mean? Because I come from somewhat of a different background to a certain degree, and that goes with all ways of people in the group. You know, when it comes to like Connor, for example, bro, one of our artists, and shout out Connor. He's like one of my longest friends in the setting of the group. He doesn't listen to much hip hop, bro. He does, but a completely different style of hip hop to what a lot of people in the group listen to. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So we definitely have differences in opinions of who we like and who we fuck with. And then there's also like the level of like what scenes have we actually interacted with and have gotten like weird vibes from or positive vibes from.
Are there any scenes that you've gotten more weird vibes from?
Honestly, not really.
Are they straight
not
up
really?
like,
I mean,
these guys?
there's definitely individuals who have like, I remember like last year there was somebody who put a diss track out on us.
Really? On Trauma Squad?
Yeah, on Trauma Squad, bro.
Rah, what?
Yeah, somebody put a diss, and we were going to reply, but it was like, honestly, I thought
track?
A whole diss track. We were gonna do one,
they came out
but then it was like
7 people.
Being completely honest, I don't know if it's worth the time. That was kind of the ultimate thing. We actually made the track and we played it once live at a house show, but we never actually released the track. And I think that was for the best because I think it would have come from a very place of spite. The track wasn't that good in the first place. Like it had some mean bars on it, it had some funny bars on it, but honestly, I think because it was so early in our career, and I think people were just a little bit, I don't know, angry or upset or maybe trying to be us. Or I honestly couldn't explain it to you, bro.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't explain it to you.
Yeah, I was
but
too successful for those motherfuckers.
Just haters, bro. And at the end of the day, man, I'm trying to avoid that shit. I've especially like for me, I've tried to put my ego completely to the side, and I'm willing to work with anyone and everyone who's willing to give me a chance, and I'm willing to give them a chance until I'm proven otherwise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Nah, 100%. Is there anyone that you sort of have an eye on, like, that you'd like to collab with? Is there a dream collaboration?
Dream collab or like local dream collab, bro? Because there's both. You give me both?
Yeah, I want both.
I'll give you a dream collab. I mean, for the style of music that I'm making now, I would love to make a track with Yeet. I think that would be fucking crazy.
Is that like the one way? Is Yeet the current cheat code, do you reckon, in the music industry?
I don't know if he's a cheat code, bro. I honestly think his album quite recently was actually a switch up and moving him in towards a more progressive and niche category, which maybe people fans of his older work, maybe cunts who found him through TikTok, like, and that's not a bad thing too. TikTok's a really good way to find new music. I find music through TikTok all the time. I've
personally never heard of Yeet up until this point.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I mean, I was late to Yeet, in my opinion, because I found out about him 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And I had friends who were putting me on, telling me, I don't listen to Yeet anymore, but you should check out his music. I'm like, damn, you don't listen to Yeet anymore? And he's like, I haven't even heard of him, bro. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I literally never heard of this guy.
But for me, that is the...
When you made the video.
Well, for me, that is the current dream collab. Like, in terms of, like, who's really up there in the music industry that's popping right now, that would be a dream collab for me to make it with. It would be him, and I think our styles would sonically mesh somewhat well. Better than, like, some of those, like, I could tell you Kendrick or some of these guys that I really fuck with, like those legacy guys, but I reckon I could actually make a really killer song with somebody like Yeet or somebody like Playboi Carti or somebody along those lines,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Local dream collabs, bro, there is a few, and, like, it's always about, like, who am I trying to work with? I'm trying to make a track with... This is a dream in the sense that it's like, it can happen, and it's almost happened so many times, but it usually doesn't happen. It just doesn't come to fruition for some reason. Like, we've tried, we've been in the studio together, but it just hasn't happened. I would like to make a track with Andre Bugatti. He's another artist from around here. He is a sick cunt, man. His production style is amazing. Shout out Bugatti, bro. He's got a hectic tag. He's got very beautiful, smooth music, bro. And I think, honestly, that's why it didn't mesh so well in the past, because I was still like finding and navigating my way with the sound. But now that I'm along the line of, like, singing more and using my voice as an instrument and, like, navigating that boundary between what can be smooth, what can be pop harmonies and melodies, and what can be hard and harsh rapping and shit,
I was going to ask, why don't you believe that it meshed between the two of you?
In exactly that reason in the past, where I think the sound that he was on and the sound that I was on were ultimately too different at that time, but now I think they've come together more in a place where they could be akin to each other.
Yeah, that's totally fucking dope. And so so you reckon you guys would be a really good man? I was going to ask why, but I was
talking to him in my Discord server 2 nights ago, bro.
Really?
I was showing him some new music, he showing me some new music. Like,
really?
We're tapped in like that, like I said. Yeah. Like, he's a homie. He's a homie like that, but the thing is, like, it hasn't come to fruition, like, because I just don't think either of us have liked the track enough to actually continue moving on with it. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's the move in music.
Yeah,
that's the move in music.
Heard anything from you that he reckons is the super go right now?
I think both from us. I mean, he likes my music, and I like his music. I just think that the specific tracks that we made together or had tried to make together, or the times that we got in the studio together, it hasn't amounted to something
Andre.
that we can...
Okay, I thought that you were fucking talking about Yeet. I was like, this motherfucker's in the Discord
with
Yeet.
What the fuck, bro? Imagine that, bro. That'd be funny.
I was like, what do you mean you, like, didn't fuck with the shit he sent? I'm like,
Andre's a
what did you just figure it out? I'm like, what did you...
But if I was chopping in the studio with Yeet, bro, I would be letting you know.
What? That's why when you were like jumping shit, I was like, ha. That's so fucking funny.
That is so fucking funny, bro.
That makes so much more sense now.
Yes. No, but I'll let you know when I'm chopping in the studio with Yeet.
Yeah, please.
or anyone near his status, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
honestly, at this point in my life, I'm just trying to play the game as best as I can. Whether that means making songs with people across the world and trying to hop on anything that I can that at least fits somewhat near my sound, I'm going to do that, you know? And I'm going to experiment, but I'm also going to keep it me.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's the important part, right? 'Cause you got to experiment enough to where the, new stuff actually happens.
Mm,
But then you got to master your craft enough by getting repetitions out.
mm.
Fuck yeah. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Do you know what that is?
Of course, bro. That's the final countdown. Does that mean there's another
100%.
last question?
100%. No, that is not the last question. That is the transition sound. While
Oh.
I poorly prompt myself as to what the next thing is. Alrighty, you ready? These are okay. Yeah, now we got just some fun questions, right?
Okay.
So we got weed, kush, smoking, not smoking, goals, ambitions. Does it stop you? What are your thoughts around
Whoa,
it? Let's have a cone
interesting.
for it. We're gonna be talking about weed. This next little segment is just kush.
Okay. I'm down with that, bro.
Thoughts, feelings, parameters, habits.
Well, I started smoking weed when I was around 21 on a more daily basis, 21, 22.
20.
Before that, I'd only experimented with weed, smoked it every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was always a big occasion. Now,
really?
obviously, I'm in a point in my life where, I mean, I do have a prescription, but I don't smoke the weed I get from my prescription. I still subscribe to the black market dealer.
Oh,
Shout out.
nice. Shout out to the homie.
Yep,
Shout out to those
homie,
who have been the homie.
But at the same time, I think weed is a drug that can really sell you sell you complacency and comfort. I'm gonna keep it 100% real with you, and I think
100%.
anyone who doesn't tell themselves that as a daily smoker is like selling themselves a
They're
lie.
straight up capping.
But just because it is a drug that allows that to happen doesn't mean it has to be what happens. You know what I mean? I remember reading a story on Reddit when I was like fucking 18 about a guy who used to smoke weed. And he said the worst thing about smoking weed was that I've woken up as a 60-year-old man and I didn't really do anything with my life. And I feel like the reason that was because I smoked weed every day and it kept me in my comfort zone and not willing to do anything outside of what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fearful. I feel like not losing any more of my fucking life to this shit. But then I still find myself like waking up and doing it every single day. I got you. It's not good right now.
No, I get you, bro. But for me, I feel like if I quit weed, might I see an improvement in terms of like my efficiency and my dedication and my focus? Yes, most likely I have to navigate the adverse side effects that come of like, why do I smoke weed in the first place? I do like the alleviation of anxiety. I do like the alleviation of my insomnia. Like these are just issues that I would have to tackle with other like avenues. And like I already do things like not constant. Sorry, I shouldn't say constant, but like how do you say consistent exercise, like walking the dogs, lifting my weights, doing my push-ups. Trying to navigate the balance of eating well, and sometimes I falter, but everyone does. And like I'm getting back on my swag with that shit. So it's like I truly believe that where I'm at with weed is if I can continue to stay consistent with the things that I want to do, and stay true to myself, and not recline into being a bong rat who sits at his computer and plays games all day in face of not having a job. Because I feel like me not having a job right now, a job on the books now, means that I have to go twice as hard in what I'm doing to prove to everyone that I'm fucking doing something.
Yeah,
when I post my day in the life reels, people look at me like, go get a job, bro. Go do some shit like that. And it does sting me a little bit because it's like, okay, I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, it's like, try see it from my perspective. Try live my shoes, bro. I'm trying to get this every single day of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By whatever means necessary, even if it means I'm living on fucking bullshit, next to nothing money, and trying to make something from nothing, you know?
No, 100%. Like, it's really hard to explain to people that have never been, like, broke trying to accomplish something before. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Wait, hold up. Say something?
Yo, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, cool. But yeah, when you're like broke, hungry for like anything to work and you're just like scrapping for it, that's when like you can make real good progress.
That's when the ideas really start to hit, bro. That's when, like, I mean, that's really what got me on my content shit this year. Is that
And
like
it's annoying
not
'cause-
necessarily that I'm
Yeah.
broke, but I'm just sick of being in the same place. And it's like I can go get a job. Like I was talking about I was in a job interview today for a job that I most likely will get. If they don't give me the shift that I want, then I don't know if I'll take it because it is
Yeah.
a big impact on like my lifestyle and that sort of stuff.
Mm.
But it remains to be seen. I'm not going to say never. You know what I mean?
What about the job, just for the viewers at home, were you like not so down
They
for?
they were offering an overnight shift with more pay, and they said they might not be able to offer the overnight. It would be an afternoon shift
Yeah.
with an extra day a week and less pay.
Not
So
good.
it's kind of like it's not a really good deal for me.
What
you know
they
what I mean?
originally offered me, but less and shitter.
Exactly right.
And
What they
not what I
originally offered
wanted.
me, but less than shitter. Arguably, you could say overnights is shitter. It's a shitter deal, and that's why you get paid more, and
It's
that's
not
why
what
you
you
have less
want.
pay.
It's shitter.
But I'm built like that.
Yeah.
I'm built like that to be able to take the overnight shift. I've done 2 overnight shifts in the last week making music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen those.
If there's a bag on the table, then I will do it by any means. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna do it like I'm not in a position where I feel like I'm begging or irking for a job right now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, no, for
Beyond
sure.
beyond my own efforts, because I've been able to pull in money through my musical and creative endeavors, through my 3D design, through my graphic design, cover arts, videos, reels, whatever the fuck I have to
Are you
do.
making
Working
coin on the
Fiverr,
graphic design?
a little bit of coin, not crazy, but I still
Yeah.
make a little bit of coin.
That's
I'm on
cool.
Fiverr. I have my connections back to my crypto world who still hit me up from time to time and get
For
me to do
sure.
work for them. Or you know, I still, as of recently, was active in that space until I, you know, was able to be unactive in that space. But you know, if that space starts moving in a way that I can be active in it again, I will be. You know, like once again, I never say never. And if there's a way for me to make money in a way that doesn't involve me working for somebody else, that's what I'm about.
Yeah, fuck yeah. No, 100%. I definitely prefer.
But I'm not against it. I'm not one of those guys who doesn't want to work. I just want to work for myself, and I'm
I
willing
want
to
to
try this.
work. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
willing
I
to
want to
try this
work. I
until
just fucking
cannot
hate
try
having
it
a
any
job.
longer. Until the world has forced me to like go and you have to resign to getting a job, and then I
Yeah.
would still push this in tandem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%. It's like,
I'm just and I recognize the privilege and the support that I have, but that's why I'm doing it, bro. Is that I'm trying to use that while I have it until I can't have it anymore, and just at that point I have to go get a job. At that point I have to resign to like doing
NPC.
this as a hobby to a sort of certain degree, because bro, when you're in those job interviews, that's what they ask you, that's what they tell you. Are you willing to, like, how much time does this take up, and like, are you willing to put
Do
this
you have
on the
any other
side? You know what I mean?
commitments?
You know what I mean? And for me, it's
do you have
like,
any other commitments that
I'm
this might
telling them
interrupt?
yes, but to a degree it's like, the only reason I'm getting a job is so I can put more money into this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. That's when you got to subscribe to those early mornings, get shit done before work. But then it's so annoying doing anything before work, so it's almost easier to just wake up, suffer it, and then enjoy the evening.
Well, with, like I said, with those overnights, it would have been perfect, bro. That means I get my days.
Yeah.
I'm
Run.
on a weird schedule. You know, I can do weird shit. But that's beside the point. I don't know if that's going to happen. They could still offer me the overnight shift. I don't know. But that's where my state of mind is at. I'm looking at like maybe progressively bringing more money in now, even if it takes me getting a job, because that's where I'm trying to move. I'm trying to put more money into my marketing. I'm trying to put more money into my art because I've already made the music. Like I'm not gonna stop making music, but I've got so much that I need to promote and get out this year.
Yeah, no, 100. Yeah, well, you pretty much could, like, yeah, you, like, got to keep up the craft to stay good at it, but then you've got so much content that you could just drip it out. So what are you smoking out of, Bongus?
Looking out of a big bong, bro. It's a massive big bong. One of the classics, like the Agung glass.
Did you just smoke it?
With the nice, I did. I'm sorry.
No,
with
that's
the
okay.
nice
Cheers.
brass, so I can keep talking while you're hitting it. But yeah, I smoke out of a classic. I need to actually give it a bit of a clean. But it has the nice brass cone piece. I also have a Gator Butte, but like the glass one, it's behind there. Personally, I don't like how quickly it gets clogged up. I'm just going to say that. Because the stem is quite thin. Like the cone piece, the wherever it goes to, it's like it just gets clogged. Because it's a little tube, it gets clogged up quite quickly. I don't want to have to keep going and running every couple of cones. Because me and my girlfriend hit cones, you know? So it's not like I hit 5 cones and it's clean. Like me and my girlfriend will hit 2 cones each and it's fucking gone, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. I definitely find that a good mid-sesh clean is like lit.
For
I
sure.
rinsed out mine, I think, before the sesh. Or before, the pod.
For sure.
The
I won't
pod
lie, bro. My
sesh.
phone's on 3%.
Oof. Well then. The only other question we have are like,
Oh, true.
what games you doing?
Oh, man. At the moment,
What games you playing?
I'm on Valorant. I'm trying to learn that. One of my boys has got me on it, Shannon. It's pretty fun, but I suck at it. I forever will be at the moment a Fortnite boy. Ever since I got introduced to Zero Builds, I've loved it. I think it's honestly one of the best games to hit the
Bro,
market in the
Zero
last few
Builds
years.
brought me back to fucking Fortnite.
I'm trying to get my boys back on COD, Black Ops, Cold War, because we had some good nostalgic times with that, and I recently found my login for that again.
Very nice.
And I have also been playing a few League of Legends games. Even though I'm at heart somebody who loves Dota, I've clocked 1,000 or 1,400 hours in Dota, which is pretty disgusting to think about. I have a lot of friends around me, as you know, who play League, and it's just easier to pick up a League game than it is a Dota game these days.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's what happens when you seize that market, eh?
You know, I love games. As a child, I was a big gamer. I grew up in a family. My dad loved games. My brothers loved games. Like, it was huge like that. You know what I mean? But as I've grown older, the balance between games and what I actually want to do and accomplish has become a lot finer. You know, I can only play games for, an hour a day if I want to, if I'm lucky to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I totally fucking get that. Games.
I mean, you'll
so much,
sometimes catch
so much
me
of
on
a
a
luxury.
fucking. Sometimes you'll catch me on a day where I'm, having a fucking.
Oh,
bender
bro,
on it.
having a
But,
day, having a day.
Exactly right. You know, it's still a very social thing for me. I don't really play one-player games
Bro,
anymore.
same.
You know?
Either a social
It's
thing
like-
or a getaway thing. Because I fucking
I-
love at the
I-
moment playing Need
I
for Speed
feel-
Carbon. And it's a
I
PS2
feel
game.
upset to a certain degree that it's like I have friends that if I didn't play a certain game, I couldn't keep up with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's okay. That's how it is. I play games or I hang out in certain Discords and play games alongside people because that's how I interact with certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. No, 100%. No, I'm definitely like... And I feel like... I don't know about you, but I don't know if you relate. But like, I feel like I'm so much of a social butterfly that... sometimes I just aren't getting the normal hit out from during the day. And so that way I can just go online and there's like 5-8 different people I can talk
Sure,
to.
bro.
And I'm
Sure,
like,
man. I
fuck
rotate,
yeah,
bro. You
now I
should see
can
me on Discord. I'm a monster. I
Yeah.
rotate through Discords all day, bro.
chat to
you
a
know?
bunch of different motherfuckers.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And, it's lovely. I mean, being somebody who, like, I like to interact in person, but I have a social battery that can fade pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So the online aspect of still being able to stay in touch with people who I really care about and, like, have conversations like these and work together, like actually co-work together and co-game together and all that sort of shit, it's fucking genius, bro. I love it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Good for the workflow.
100%. Well, Bonnie. Bongus. I think that's a lot.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, man. It was a very
thank
riveting.
you so much for joining and being the very first
exciting
guest.
conversation.
We'll see you episode 101,
Absolutely.
obviously, but
Until then, Bongi's World will be out. Hopefully the second album will also be out. We'll see. It depends on how quickly we're progressing the podcast series. I hope that both these albums drop within this year.
yeah, the boys.
So, if you're trying to hear some music, BXNGUS on Spotify.
Let's go.
Or go to my Instagram and click on one of the many reels I've been putting out.
That's right.
And
Plug that shit.
I think you might be able to see one from me and Mr. Lachlan tomorrow, if all goes well. At the time of recording this.
Yeah, boy. Gonna make some gym TikToks.
Yes.
And obviously, Bong is performing on that boat. Free entry at the Simo's Boat Chaos. Saturday,
Oh, if you're in
30th of
Sydney, I'll
March.
just see you there, man.
You can reserve free ticket. Link in bio.
Yes,
All
bro.
of Bongus's social medias will all be at the top here in the bio. So check those out if you want to support him. And thanks for watching and appreciate it, Bongus.
Fucking
Thank
bro.
you.
Bless you.
Bonky. Bonky.